Hello, welcome to Dan K Reviews, and this is Star Wars New Jedi Order RPG mission session 03. So in this session, the party finally chose amongst all the jobs. Now all these jobs have consequences. I strongly emphasize to my players. One job will have direct consequences in the other jobs. They're all things that could happen. And so after debating and appeal that didn't show up, I actually sent them a message on Facebook, and they actually looked up the different choices, and then they sent me messages back to vote for it too. So they want it to be, it's a heavy teamwork campaign. And so once they finally made a choice, they chose the Salute to the Hut mission, which is the least interfering with other ones. So on this mission, all right, they were given some simple objectives here. And actually, we did this one last night, so it's fresh in my mind, at least. Alright. So, basically there was a ship that was damaged, and it's derelict somewhere. There was a survivor from the ship named Jan Norse. He is a Chadra fan. It's basically like a little, bat person. You remember from the New Jedi Order. You remember from, like, Knights of the Republic. He was sitting inside the bar there, listening in on the bar all the time. Anyway. This Jan Norse, he's on the lower levels of Coruscant. The party has to find him, get the information, find out where the derelict ship is, get 4 crates of spice on that ship. Anything else on it, salvaging rights, they can get what they want. It's between continents. It was attacked by raiders, so no one knows where the hell it is. Except him, he knows the coordinates. So, the job is to go to Coruscant, find him, get the information, then bring that back to Sack Eats in the hut system, and they'll get their pay. 2,500 per crate. Alright, so, as they went to Coruscant, first thing they did is they said, you know what, we have money, let's buy some equipment, because there's no way of instantly getting stuff in the game unless you're on a planet. And I play for all the, I always like doing shop owners. It's always good. You get bargains and good deals if you know what you're doing. So the first thing they did is they went to Coruscant. They went to the first shop directly beside Starport. So in real life it'd be like going to the shops directly beside airports. In any country, it's the most expensive place to go, and usually one of the more sketchy equipment you get. So it goes in the first one, and again, Billy May's character, because everyone wants him to do the bargaining, he tries his old trade, and he runs into a guy who's just like him. And they bargain, and the guy's trying to sell him a heavy blaster pistol, which is painted green and red, and has this purple attachment on it, looks bad, and trying to sell it to him, and, like, selling it for way more than what it's worth. And then he eventually walks out because he realizes what's going on and he doesn't want to fall for it. Which was funny. It literally was just like a piece of gum on the end that the guy was trying to lie about. Then they go to another one farther down. They bargain. They actually get a decent price. It's like nothing special. It's a standard blast pistol. So he isn't that big deal. And it's a very enthusiastic creature. It's like one of those frog types that's relative to the Hutts. He's trying to sell it to him and says, yes, I have good hands. And he says, oh, can I go back in the back room and test to see how Boom Boom's? Like, yes, and I can come back and help you, Boom Boom, too. And he got very uncomfortable, and he did practice, and the guy kept trying to come on to him. He said, no, Billy Mays is not interested, goodbye. And then they, so, while this is going on, the pilot, which is my character, the Deveronian, mixed with the Wookiee, Chris's character, and what's it? Oh, Justin's character, the synth human, which no one knows is a droid yet. They say, all right, let's go down to the lower sectors first. They used some of the local knowledge, and they knew that there was a good place for scraps because they want to buy some equipment. So they take a taxi. They go down to the lower levels of Coruscant. They go to Jimmy's. Now, Jimmy's chop shop it's one of the more well-known places. It's a good place if you want to buy some parts for yourself without legal repercussions. So they go to this place, they meet Jimmy. And at first, everything's going smoothly. He said, the Wookiee walks in, and the guy there, he actually is translated to talk to the Wookiee, and he's saying, I want some spare parts to make my own bowcaster. And, he has a very good mechanic skill, so he can build up. And the guy says, well, I don't think I can afford it, but I tell you what, I need, one of my mechanics can't call in sick today, which was something I wrote in the storyline. Someone did this. One of my mechanics were in sick today. If you go and fix the thrust on this land speeder, all the tools and equipment are there. I will sell you those parts for 100 credits. And he's like, oh, good deal. Goes in there, and it's a 4-hour job. But before he goes in, he has to put all his equipment, he has to put his weaponry and stuff in a drop box. Anyone goes into the back room. It's all caged off front office. So, Wookiee's like, whatever, puts it in. My character, he's just going with the flow. And then Justin's character says, no, I'm not storing my weapon ever. So he goes outside and stands there. Now, on their way in, I meant to forget this. They had a beggar walk up and say, hey man, you got some credits? Some credits, I could use some credits. Real bad, I could use some credits. Please give me some credits. And they just shrugged off and walked out. So as he went outside, and we'll get to the other two that went inside in a sec. As he went outside, hey man, you want some credits? Want some credits? He was still there. Give me some credits, and he's a junkie. He's trying to get credits off him, and he says no. He turns his back. He yells at him stuff, and the guy just starts getting more and more wiry, and then he says, "Well, I'll tell you what. Do you have a knife?" Because he's looking to buy a vibro knife. He's like, I got Jenny. He's like, well, I want your knife. Give me your knife. I want your knife. I'll buy your knife off you. Oh, but Jenny's nice. Jenny's a mean girl. It's like, oh, yeah, Jenny's a mean girl, blah, blah, blah. He's taking him on, and the guy rolls for an attack, and he jumps, and he stabs 2 knives into his shoulders. He rolls very well. And he had no minuses on his attack at all, so full-on hit. Stabs the knives in his shoulders. Only 8 damage to him. Minus whatever his soak is. And then he proceeds to punch him in the stomach with his robot hands, with skin over top, and then punch, and the guy's high as hell, so he doesn't realize what's going on. And then he punches a second time, and punches into his chest, taking a lung and a good chunk of his rib. Street heroin addict falls dead. And then then he feels something press against the back of his head and says, now why'd you kill a beggar? You could have just pushed the guy off. And then he turns around and he sees a droid. It looks like IG-8 little crappier looking, holding a heavy blaster rifle pointed directly at his face. And behind him there's another humanoid person who's leaning on a wall. And he says to me, character's like, oh man, I get to fight a droid. And I say to him, are you saying that in character? He's like, yeah, I'm saying that in character. So you say to him, oh yeah, I get to fight a droid. He's like, yeah. So you go to attack him? Yeah, I'm gonna swing my weapon at him. So he pulls his trigger, because he's point blank holding his gun with his finger on the trigger. He deals enough damage to take him down immediately. Thankfully, the droid was not going for a kill shot, just for disabling. Because of the knives in the shoulder, he knew he was a droid, so he knew how to disable him. So we'll pause there on that. Back to the workshop. So Chris' character, the Wookiee, is with the Deveronian. They're repairing the speeder. I and Chris roll for each hour that he was working it for 4 hours. First hour I rolled decent. Second hour he rolled a special advantage die, which was one of the things I had. And then the other 2 rolls were just mediocre stuff, nothing over the top. Now, because of the special event die, I gave an advantage on this. What happened was, while he was repairing that engine, he noticed a cracked fuel line and some damage done to it. He repaired that as well. While he was doing that, he doubled the efficiency of the motor, which increased the value of the speeder, of the stolen speeder, which is like a decked out chrome gold type color ones, like some rich kid's speeder they stole. So he then goes mechanic. Camp's like, oh, damn man, you did a great freaking job. My mechanic didn't notice that. Here, he gave him a bonus 1,000 credits and the parts for the gun. That's the only campaign. You try these things, you roll, you go with the storyline stuff, things can happen. So, that's what happened with him. Meanwhile, back outside, the other characters that were on the upper levels, they are now taking a taxi down. While they're getting ready to take a taxi down to lower levels to go look for the little Chad fan, they get a message on a comm link saying, "Hi, do you know this person who owns this comm link?" And they say, "What's the person look like?" It's like a woman droid with a big axe. And through confusion, they go down there and meet, and sure enough, he's there, and it's like, "Hey, do you guys work for anybody?" And like he asks him a few questions and stuff like that. And when he finally finds out they're mercenaries, he gets their contact info, and then he picks up Justin's character, who is right out and dead, and he notices that he has a detonator in his chest. The detonator is starting to go off. He then takes it into the shop. The shop owner, who does this for a living, he steals tech, he disables droids, and removes booby traps on stuff all the time. Rolls for it. Easily makes a roll. Disables the detonator on him. Takes him into the shop and repairs him. So, by the time the speeder's done being fixed, the repairs are done on the droid as well. And he wakes up tied to a table, naked, as the repair's done, and Billy Mays is there taking a picture of it. It's like, hey, for the future. And then they let him go, he puts his clothes on, gets his axe on, he's just pissed off. While this was happening, before that, they talked to the droid and the humanoid there. The droid's name was Mr. 84 and... Sorry, number 84 and Mr. Trask. And they said, because of this, you guys will owe us a favor one day. So, at one point, they will call on if we pick up, it'll be guard duty or something like that. Be interesting. They actually work for another faction that hasn't been revealed yet in my storyline. And also Jimmy said because he impressed them by the job, Jimmy might give them a job in the future as well. Whether for scrap or salvage. Maybe if they find a derelict ship, they could sell it to them. You never know. Those type of things. So then the party talks to Jimmy. They actually find out that the picture I have of this Chad fan actually was from a gun dealer down the road. The little thing had went to his place, caused a ruckus, and that was it. The guy took a picture to ban him, and then that got around. That's how they found out he was on Coruscant. So they walk down the street, and as they're walking, they say, "What do we see?" Well, you see lots of sketchy men in side alleys with long coats. You see lots of bars, some strip clubs, stuff like that. As they go, they see. So again, Billy May's character, because I actually like him. He's the talker. He wants to go and talk there. Everyone has their own skills. He's the talker. He goes down and talks to a heroin dealer. Well, it's a brown twig with a long coat. Well, drug dealer say. He says, hey, you want some stuff? You want some stuff? I got lots of good stuff. And so he says, oh, maybe. And he talks to him a little bit, and he sees off some of the drugs, and he actually buys the stuff I made up as a drug. It's called Back to Clean, which goes in the wrong way, goes in the other end for the drug, which means a few tentacles that release it into your body. Yeah, it's a pretty scary sounding thing, and it will get you high as hell. So he does that, and he gives him $20, 20 credits, and shows him pictures. Like, hey, do you know this guy? He's like, yeah, I know that guy. Yeah, he lives, and he gives them the coordinates. So they put it in their Coruscant maps, and they see an address to like a little apartment building just like 4 blocks down the road. They go all the way down there, and they're outside at the backside of the building by the fire escape, and they can hear them. Well, they all stuck. One character can hear distinct 4 of these voices because they have this. They have like a high-pitched whistling sound for a voice. The race, so he hears it, and so one character says, "Okay, Billy May's character says, I'm gonna run inside, go upstairs, knock on the door, and when they run out, you guys stun them when they come down the fire escape. Alright, then we just kidnap them, take them to the ship. And then we can interrogate them there." So, Billy Mays runs up at the front of the building. He goes to the door, knocks on the door, immediately hears sound at the door. And he's without waiting, he just says, "People are coming with guns to kill you. People are coming with big blasters to shoot you and kill you." And with that, he hears like a lot of high-pitched whistling sounds, and then they appear to see like two little Trout fans and two big Trout fans run out the door and start running down the steps. The bigger ones then pick up the kids and pick up the little ones and start running down the steps to the base floor. At that point, all the players open fire with stun bolts and knock them all down. And then they get a big sack and throw them all inside a big sack, and the Wookiee starts to carry them away. Upstairs, John's character, Billy Mays, managed to break in the door and get inside, and he wants to see like how long he's been there. He sees family photos, he sees a hot meal sitting down, he sees like some kid toys, and he sees a nice family of four's living environment. So he then yells down that, hey, no, it's not them. Basically, the guy in the alley, he just said, "Yeah, I know what Tradfan looks like. I think there's Tradfans that live there." And so he yells down and like, "Oh crap!" And they go and just dump this sack with all them selling. Don't take him as just dump the sack in their home of this family of four that was sitting down for dinner, and then run away. So they then go to the gun store where the guy took the picture. Asked him, the guy's a big eyes and says, "Yeah, dude, this guy came and he was wanting to buy stuff and he's yelling and he's whistling at me and I didn't know what the whistling meant sometimes and he kept saying weird words at me and wanted guns and stuff and then he wanted stuff for free and then I didn't do it and then he started shooting stuff and then I told him to get out, man, because he's ruining the life of a hard-working businessman." And then I took a picture of him and he left. And from that, we asked around, like, he's usually seen downtown at this one club. It's a little strip club. So, we go down to this place, and it's one of those clubs where, at the door, we showed a picture. The guy's like, "Yeah, I know that guy. He comes here all the time. It's a little annoying." And again, 18-plus game. That's how I run my sessions. No kids. So, as they enter the strip club, basically it's like one circle with one main room that you go in, and it branches off into 5 other rooms. Then there's 4 rooms from there that are all connected, and then those branch off into 3 other rooms. So, and they're all like with long hallways. They're sealed. They have different environmentals in each room. They're custom fit for each species. So they explore each room. They go to regrettably the hut room, which is that high with slime on the floor and them on the poles. They go to Twi'lek room. They go to every different race. There's a few different races room. They get to the very last room where the exit is, which is where Billy Mays went just to cut him off. The guy tried to escape. They get there, and it's basically a drug den. It's just people filled up, getting high and wasted. He sees one, which he thinks is him, but it's just another Shadow fan. He tries to rob him. One guy's like, no, stop doing that. Stop trying to rob our customers. They're high. They're playing with themselves and doing their own thing. And then he shows the picture. It's like, "Oh yeah, that guy is over there. But he says, don't kill him because he owes his tab. His employer keeps paying off his tab." And he shows him then a tab paper. You want to print up for receipt reasons of what his tab is about. Currently he owes 19,000 credits. And there's a listing of all the drugs he's bought. He's paid for sex with basically every species you could imagine in the Star Wars universe. And all types of other weird things done to him. So, they then go to the proper area where he is. And it's the mixed species room. So, right off the bat, this is a little hidden joke in the campaign. I asked the players to make names for IDs for the ship. And among those names, let's see, I can actually tell you them right now, because this is actually hilarious. Wrote it down. And I believe I have it right. Okay, so they had 3 names they use for their ships. They can rotate their ID codes when they go different places. And they have to remember what they are because it will have effects later on. So they have Ninja Turtle, because it's the big turtle ship. They have Funky Boy, or 2 Girls, 1 Hut. So when they went in that room, there was 2 Twi'leks and a hut on stage doing very weird things with all the lumps and rolls. They went to the back room, went to the back corner where the trash fan was, where that little guy was. and he was getting a blowjob from Wookiee. They point out and say, "Sir, we're gonna shoot you if you go." And it's like, just 1 minute, and they're like, "Oh crap, not that type of shoot." And they get her to go away. They talk to him. He tries to he goes to reach for something. He starts whistling and goes to reach, and they just punch him in the face and knock him out. They meet other guys like, "Dude, he has to pay his tab off." It's like, "Oh no, we're not gonna kill him, no worry." And so they take him back to their ship. On the ship, they have him tied up, and they start trying to talk to him. No one speaks Chatterfan. He starts whistling, they have no idea what the hell he's saying. And then they find this little translator that he had, that he was reaching for when they punched him. And he goes to talk to him. Basically, they're trying to hardball him, bargains, like trying to find out where the location is. And he's like, "Dude, here's what you do. He's trying to bargain. It's like, "Give me 1,000 credits, I'll leave, I'll get my memory back, so I'm all harshed up, I forget coordinates, and then I'll send it to you." And they then started to waterboard him using Billy May's OxyClean, while the other characters threatened to slice him apart. And they got him quite delirious at one point, and got him quite messed up, because he's already pretty high on drugs to begin with, and then convinced them that he was still on this ship, and that he was escaping from the other ship. And they rolled very well for this. It was a great convincing. They rolled nothing but crits on him. And so, in delirium, he told them the coordinates. Because Sluta gave a bonus if they can bring him in alive, because she wants to feed him to that new Nexu they brought him before. So, yeah, they told him that. The Deveronian went to that place and got high on basically a ton of speed. And speeding coke, and he's in the cockpit saying, "Yeah, let's go, go, go!" And he flies out of there at full speed. And they go in hyperspace and start going towards coordinates. And that's where the session ended. Yeah, that's the thing with my character. He's a pilot. He is a major drug addict. So when they were all looking around the club, he was just there getting high and looking at whatever he fancied to look at the time. And there was a lot of little hidden jokes there, but I'll leave those off there so it doesn't get too explicit. But yeah, it's basically one of my things campaigns. If characters want to try something, it's in there. Now, and conversations work. Like if John had not broken down that door, if John had not immediately told him that people were coming to shoot them, if they had opened the door, they actually would have invited him in for dinner and chat to him and stuff like that. And at the club, one of the bouncers said, "Oh, hey, Jacqueline." And, Jacqueline, yeah, he's one of those guys. He's a Chatter fan. Yeah, he comes here all the time. He delivers the booze all the time. He's our delivery guy. So they knew the family. If anyone had said anything with that, they would have had open fire on them in the club there. If they had bragged about studying the family or something stupid like that. So, like I said, every little thing's tied in with this. If Justin's character had turned around, certainly being only for $2,000 for the shipment, if he had turned around and talked calmly to that number 84. Number 84 is a Black Suns representative, one of the major ones. If he had made a job with him, it's a hot strike competition, he would have actually paid him $8,000 for those coordinates. Like I said, everything, but then they would have been bad with Salute to the Hut. Everything has consequences in this, so it all counteracts each other. But, well, there an end. The storyline continues. So, next session they're going to be going towards where the ship is and encountering some surprises there. Which, there was a good... If they actually talked to that guy and he got away, he actually would give them some bonus information which would really help them out. But anyway, we'll get to that next time. Yeah, if you like this, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks.